You have likely experienced those unusual moments when the world around you suddenly feels less solid, less fixed than before. Familiar places might take on a new layer of perception, as if seen through a different lens. Your body might begin to vibrate in subtle, inexplicable ways, feeling both alien and deeply familiar, as if you've touched upon something far beyond ordinary understanding. These experiences are not simply confusion, nor are they signs of exhaustion or fleeting imagination. Instead, they are profound evidence that your consciousness is embarking on a transformative process far grander than anything you've encountered before. This process is frequently referred to as a quantum upgrade, a fundamental enhancement of awareness itself. This upgrading is not a vague or abstract concept. It doesn't stem from personal striving or intellectual effort, nor is it the result of a specific method you need to learn or meticulously practice. Rather, it operates much like an automatic update to the operating system of the universe. Once your individual consciousness reaches a certain vibrational threshold, often a point of accumulated wisdom and empathy, a universal intelligence, akin to a cosmic architect, activates profound changes within your physiological and energetic architecture. This invisible yet palpable update affects your physical body, your nervous system, your very perception of reality, and the entire electromagnetic field encompassing you, subtly shifting your baseline frequency. At this pivotal point, old structures that once constrained human capacity and perception begin to dissolve. This dissolution creates an expansive space for a new system to emerge, one where reality is no longer perceived as rigid and unyielding, but becomes flexible and fluid. Here, awareness doesn't merely react to external stimuli, but actively participates in shaping probabilities and influencing the flow of events in a co-creative dance. When you begin to feel these subtle yet significant shifts, you are standing on the threshold of a higher level of perception. Sudden, unexplained sleepless nights are not merely a symptom of stress. They are an indication that your consciousness is actively working across multiple layers of reality, integrating new data. The sense of disorientation, when familiar spaces feel strangely different or distorted, is not instability. It signifies your nervous system learning to receive and interpret information from parallel layers of reality, expanding its sensory bandwidth. Even those moments when time seems to move strangely, when a single moment stretches endlessly, or entire hours vanish in an instant, are evidence that you are beginning to step outside the linear time structure, which is only a small slice of a far more expansive reality. Pay close attention to the small, often overlooked events in your daily life. A clock inexplicably stops at the exact moment you receive a deep insight or a sudden revelation. Your phone glitches for no apparent reason precisely when you are engaged in intense thought about a specific subject. Lights flicker, ambient sounds shift, or the space around you seems to subtly respond to your presence. These occurrences are far from random. They are confirmation mechanisms, showing that you are moving to another frequency band, where consciousness and reality are beginning to communicate directly through the intricate electromagnetic field that permeates everything. The striking paradox of these experiences is that when they appear, you may feel both exhilarating excitement and gnawing doubt. This duality arises because society has profoundly programmed us to believe that everything must possess a mechanical, scientifically quantifiable explanation, ideally measurable and reproducible. Yet, universal intelligence operates beyond these conventional limits. It doesn't require you to force belief in these phenomena. It only asks for your acknowledgement. When you genuinely acknowledge these experiences, you step into a state of deep resonance. As you step into this pivotal year one, if you pause and truly listen, you will discern that what is unfolding around you is not meaningless chaos. It is a clear, deliberate message. The universe is actively inviting you to release what no longer serves your highest potential. It is gently, yet firmly, reminding you that you simply cannot carry outdated vibrations forward into this new energetic landscape. It is placing you in situations where you are compelled to make clear choices, where you must distinctly perceive which internal frequency you are currently holding. The quantum upgrade initiates a profound restructuring of your entire inner operating system. It meticulously renews neural networks, expanding the brain's processing capacity to handle vastly more complex information. It heightens sensory perception, allowing you to perceive subtleties previously unnoticed, and enables awareness to access an infinite information field, a cosmic database of knowledge and possibilities. Where before you might have relied solely on logical reasoning to make decisions, during the upgrade, you begin to instinctively sense optimal probabilities, glimpse potential future scenarios, and naturally choose the most aligned path without needing explicit logical explanations. Where you once perceived reality as a solid, impenetrable wall, you now begin to see it as a flowing stream of water, something you can gently direct, something whose current can be altered by your focused attention and coherent emotion. It is the profound silence that permeates your being before you consciously decide who you are in each unfolding moment. That sacred space is precisely where creation originates. It resides in the gap between an inhale and an exhale, between an old automatic reaction and a new, conscious awareness. Every time you consciously choose awareness over autopilot, you metaphorically collapse one version of reality and simultaneously open up another, more aligned one. All of this upheaval is not a loss, but rather a necessary release, a clearing operation designed to allow your energy field to fully adapt to the new, higher frequency system. Once the accumulated weight of the old paradigm is lifted, the empty space naturally fills with new streams of energy, bringing you closer to operating reality at a truly quantum level. The reality you are now entering is no longer one of forced effort, struggle, or linear striving, but one of natural coordination and effortless alignment. Synchronicity becomes so extraordinarily powerful that nearly every event in your day carries a deeper, resonant meaning. You think of someone, and they appear or contact you almost instantly. You need an answer to a burning question, and it reveals itself through situations that seem entirely random, through a snippet of conversation, a line in a book, or an unexpected encounter. This is not mere chance. It is direct, immediate feedback from the quantum field, responding precisely to the frequency of your awareness. It's as if you and the universe are playing a shared, intricate melody, and every note you strike is answered with precise, harmonious coordination from the other side. The essential directive during this process is to maintain a steady inner state, for universal intelligence only installs and stabilizes these profound upgrades for those who are capable of maintaining balance amidst change. The new abilities that are opening up can be incredibly powerful, but if they are misused or directed by egoic desires, they can quickly become chaotic and disruptive. Therefore, each sign you experience is not only a message confirming your transformation, but also a potent reminder to choose wisely, to direct your newly activated energy toward constructive creation rather than self-serving destruction. You will find yourself increasingly drawn to fields that once felt distant or obscure: quantum mechanics, consciousness research, the principles of synchronicity, and the concept of multidimensional reality. This blossoming curiosity is not random. It is an intrinsic part of the process. Right here, in this exact second, something fundamental in your energy field is already recalibrating itself. The very moment you allow these words to deeply sink into your body, not as abstract theory, but as a profound recognition of innate truth, the shift begins to unfold. You might experience it as a sudden wave of calm, a surge of crystal-clear clarity, or simply as a quiet, unwavering knowing that you are undeniably ready. And readiness, in this context, is everything. Transformation is not some distant event, waiting for an undefined someday in the future. It is a potent vibration, patiently waiting for your conscious permission to fully emerge. It commences the instant you cease running from the magnificent being you already are. So, take a deep breath. Allow this profound insight to settle within you. You did not stumble upon this message by chance or accident. You actively called it forth through the power of resonance, through the invisible yet precise mathematics of your own awakening consciousness. And now, the only remaining task is to remember. Remember that your consciousness is not small or limited. The quantum upgrade is not a mystical gift reserved for a chosen few, but an inevitable and natural stage in the grand evolution of awareness. Yet, not everyone is immediately ready for this leap. Only those who have cultivated sufficient intellectual maturity, emotional stability, and a genuine sense of service and interconnectedness can truly pass through this transformative door. It does not burst forth with the thunderous roars or blinding flashes of lightning. Instead, it moves with profound quietness, like a new, subtle frequency, gently entering your energy field, often without explicit permission or a grand announcement, patiently waiting for you to simply notice its unique rhythm. The most profound shifts never occur in the midst of external chaos. They happen in the quietude of silence. You will begin to perceive and interact directly with the quantum field, not through strenuous effort or forced will, but through a state of effortless harmony and intrinsic resonance. And that, unequivocally, is the unmistakable sign that your quantum upgrade has begun. It is irreversible and is leading you toward a reality where limitation is merely a distant memory of the past. The quantum upgrade does not halt after the initial signs and subtle experiences you may have encountered. It operates through an intricate, deeply intelligent mechanism, a profound reprogramming of your nervous system and the entire electromagnetic structure of your body. This mechanism can be likened to a cosmic symphony, where every cell, every neural impulse, every minute energy signal within you is meticulously tuned to resonate with a new, higher frequency. When this deep recalibration occurs, you may feel gentle, persistent tingles running through your body, subtle invisible currents flowing just beneath your skin, or even a sensation of pressure or expansion in your head, as if your brain is being meticulously rewired according to a completely different, more expansive map. These sensations, while sometimes confusing or unsettling, are definitive proof that your neural circuits are expanding, becoming capable of processing information many times greater in complexity and volume than before. They erroneously believe that true transformation demands struggle, immense sacrifice, and endless, grueling work. But the deeper truth is that this very effort, when applied incorrectly, is precisely what blocks it. Every time you attempt to force something into existence, you are, at an energetic level, broadcasting a signal of lack. You are unconsciously confirming to the field that you do not yet possess what you seek, that you do not yet fully trust the unseen, intricate orchestration that has already begun its work on your behalf. When your body vibrates, it is not a sign of disorder or illness, but rather a profound process of synchronization, much like a finely crafted musical instrument being precisely retuned to join a much larger, more complex orchestra. That is why every unusual feeling or sensation you experience is, in fact, a crucial sign that you are being realigned and attuned to the quantum field, preparing you for a new mode of perception and interaction. Year 9 acts as a powerful compression of everything, much like a storm drawing all old energies into its eye, only for Year 1 burst forth like a brilliant ray of light piercing through the night. This is why so many individuals have experienced immense pressure in recent times, feeling tested repeatedly, because the spiral was actively pressing them to purify, to shed the vibrations that no longer matched the evolving frequency. If you resist this process, you often feel crushed by the repetitive nature of old patterns. Instead, it liberates consciousness, allowing it to intuitively touch upon probabilities, access parallel realities, and perceive countless options existing simultaneously in the quantum plenum. It represents a fundamental paradigm shift from a purely mechanical perception of existence to a quantum one, a shift from forced effort and struggle to natural navigation and effortless co-creation. As your nervous system is reprogrammed and recalibrated, you inevitably begin to notice significant changes in the way you make decisions. Instead of painstakingly weighing pros and cons with traditional linear logic, you find yourself instantly knowing what the optimal choice is. This is intuition, but no longer vague or ephemeral. It is clear, precise, and unwavering, supported by an expansive network of intelligence that extends far beyond your individual conscious mind. Decisions flow effortlessly, as if you already possess an inner knowing of the most favorable outcome. This is powerful evidence that you are beginning to access probability matrices, discerning timeline branches before they collapse and manifest into linear, observable reality. Concurrently, the upgrade mechanism also profoundly affects your emotional landscape. The emotional fluctuations you once categorized as mere mood swings now become invaluable opportunities to learn how to maintain a steady, harmonious inner rhythm. When new, higher-frequency energy pours into your system, if your emotions swing too violently or are allowed to become chaotic, the delicate resonance with the quantum field is disrupted, and the upgrade process can momentarily stall. Universal intelligence, therefore, not only meticulously reprograms your nervous system, but also rigorously trains your emotional capacity, guiding you to become a transparent, balanced channel, no longer pulled by extremes, but capable of holding profound equilibrium through all the dynamic changes. One of the clearest and most tangible manifestations of this intricate mechanism is a heightened sensitivity to your immediate environment. You may find that you no longer feel comfortable or energized in crowded, noisy places. Loud noises or harsh, artificial lights may disturb you far more profoundly than before. In stark contrast, when you are immersed in nature, a quiet forest, by a flowing river, or beside the vast ocean, you feel your body rapidly synchronizing, recovering its energetic balance, and your mind becoming still and clear. This process explains why, in recent times, you may have keenly noticed that things once considered absolutely certain began to fracture. Systems once deemed solid revealed their inherent fragility, and in personal lives, many long-standing relationships, established jobs, and cherished dreams gradually lost their vital energy and purpose. At first glance, these losses can understandably be frightening, largely because the human mind instinctively clings to the familiar and the known. It emerges in a conversation where you consciously choose understanding and empathy instead of seeking control or validation. That is alignment. Subtle, invisible, yet immensely powerful. The quantum shift begins long before you ever see the external evidence. Most people miss it entirely because they mistakenly measure change by external results instead of by internal resonance. They insist on seeing tangible proof before they are willing to believe. But in the quantum reality, belief is the very force that makes seeing possible in the first place. Just as a computer requires a restart after installing complex new software, your consciousness and physical system need essential pauses to stabilize and integrate after each profound energetic update. The crucial thing during these periods is not to resist the fatigue or push through it. Instead, allow your body to rest deeply. Allow the profound changes to happen organically, because this is not a sign of weakness but rather a necessary preparation for much greater capacities and new levels of functioning that are emerging within you. Another subtle but significant aspect of this mechanism is the increasing synchronization and coherence between the left and right hemispheres of your brain. The left hemisphere is traditionally associated with linear logic, analytical thought, and sequential processing, while the right hemisphere connects with intuition, holistic imagery, and creative insights. During the upgrade, these two hemispheres are rebalanced and integrated to function as one unified, harmonious system. The right people miraculously appear in your path. The perfect ideas spontaneously land in your awareness, and timing becomes impeccably precise. Flow is not a matter of luck or chance. It is the natural, inevitable consequence of coherence. You will instinctively know you are entering this state when time itself begins to behave differently around you. Hours will feel like mere minutes. Opportunities will multiply organically without your constant chasing. You will start feeling inherently guided rather than perpetually guessing or strategizing. You may find yourself dreaming of being in situations completely unrelated to your current life, or encountering figures who seem to deliver specific, potent messages. These dreams are not merely products of your subconscious mind. They are profound evidence that your awareness is operating across multiple layers of reality. While your physical body rests, your awareness continues to communicate with universal intelligence, receiving vital packets of information and energetic downloads needed to complete the ongoing reprogramming. They have learned, through direct experience, that energy is the true currency of existence, that focused attention is the very act of creation itself, that genuine rest is a powerful form of recalibration. You are being invited, right now, into that elevated level of awareness, invited to stop primarily identifying with strenuous effort and to start aligning deeply with your true essence. To understand, at a fundamental level, that what you seek is not distant or elusive. Everyone undergoing this process must learn to accept profound fluctuations, because upgrading is not solely about adding new capacities, but also about removing and releasing old limitations, old programs, deeply ingrained limiting beliefs, and habits that once provided a sense of safety or identity will meticulously rise to the surface of your awareness for you to consciously face and ultimately release. That hum is life itself, gracefully reorganizing your entire reality to perfectly match the magnificent being you have always been, beneath all the noise and conditioning. You do not need to chase it, you just need to stop running from it. The universe never rushes, yet everything inevitably gets done. That is your profound reminder. The shift is happening now, in the unseen spaces, in the quiet, rhythmic beat between your heartbeats. Allow it. Knowing, intellectual understanding alone, is never enough for true transformation. If you reflect carefully, you will realize the universe has delivered this powerful message many times throughout history, through collective upheavals, such as global crises, significant social changes, and through personal signals such as recurring synchronicities, vivid dreams, and strong, intuitive nudges. All these experiences serve as persistent reminders that an ending, or a dissolution, is often necessary for growth. When you truly grasp this profound interconnectedness, you realize that the transformative process you are moving through is not merely a personal journey, but a vital link in the collective evolution of humankind, ushering in a new era of conscious existence. You can declare, "I am love," but if your energetic field is guarded and defensive, the field only receives a signal of protection and withdrawal. The universe cannot be fooled or misled. It mirrors back precisely what you are, not merely what you say or wish for. That is why the true path forward is one of embodiment. To embody means to allow a profound truth to become ingrained muscle memory, a fundamental part of your being. To allow wisdom to flow effortlessly through your actions, your tone of voice, your posture, and your very presence. Imagine the entire process you have just consciously passed through. You journeyed through various endings. You courageously let go of what no longer genuinely fit, and you witnessed old structures gracefully fall apart. And within that very space, a completely new field of energy has robustly emerged. That perceived emptiness is not a place to fear. On the contrary, it is the most fertile ground imaginable, the sacred space where you plant, where you consciously choose a frequency that will resonate harmoniously with the spiral ahead. The station broadcasting the life you desire is already on air, always broadcasting. But your internal dial is currently set to static or a different channel. You do not need to chase the music or search for it externally. You simply adjust your frequency, your internal state, until perfect clarity returns. That precise adjustment is embodiment. The mind typically wants to achieve this through strenuous effort and intellectual analysis. But the body accomplishes it through effortless alignment. This is the critical moment to recognize the immense power of the observer within you. Because just as in quantum physics, when an electron is observed, it actively chooses a specific state among infinite probabilities. So too, when you step into year one, you are the conscious observer. You are the one who decides which state reality will collapse into. You are the one who chooses the timeline you will inhabit. In this profound time, no choice is insignificant or small. It simply needs to be remembered and reactivated, because deep down, you already intimately know how it feels to live freely, confidently, and with crystal clarity. Those powerful memories are not mere fantasies or wishful thinking. They are, in fact, potent echoes from parallel timelines, where you have already fully become that magnificent version of yourself. When you feel a vision so vividly and intensely that it deeply moves you, it is not simply imagination at play, it is profound recognition. Your higher self is not a distant dream or an abstract concept. It is a powerful, clear signal. And the bridge between who you currently think you are and who you truly are is meticulously built through consistent, moment-by-moment embodiment. The more you consistently act from that aligned energy, the faster your current reality bends and reshapes itself to reflect it back to you. But embodiment is not about pretending or performing. It is not about uttering positive affirmations while your mind simultaneously screams the opposite in doubt. The question is no longer what will passively come to you, but rather what you will consciously choose to carry. For in the quantum field, reality is not dictated by external events alone, but primarily by the frequency you consistently hold within. This is the crucial moment when you must be more awake and conscious than ever before. Because unconsciousness in year one can lead to a mere repetition of the old cycle, but clarity and conscious intention can open an entirely new, transformative trajectory. Everything exists simultaneously, waiting for your frequency to select which version becomes visibly manifest in your experience. The moment you truly embody, you send an undeniable signal to the field. This is my chosen reality. And the field, in turn, reorganizes itself to precisely match that signal. This is why your thoughts alone do not create. Thoughts are merely sparks, nascent ideas. Embodiment, however, is the powerful flame that ignites creation. Feeling, the emotional charge you carry, is the current that amplifies that signal. When your mind, heart, and body are in perfect coherence, creation becomes immediate and effortless. It is that magical moment when your actions, emotions, and core beliefs move as one synchronized rhythm. You have undoubtedly felt it before, perhaps during moments of complete flow, when everything seemed to fall into place effortlessly and harmoniously. That was coherence, your temporary glimpse into what permanent, sustained embodiment feels like. It is a state of profound peace without strenuous effort, crystal clarity without overthinking, and effortless attraction without active pursuit. It is a deep, quiet power that does not need to shout or demand attention. Most people lose this state because they expect it to feel dramatic or overtly spectacular. They wait for fireworks, for obvious signs that their logical mind can easily confirm and approve. But genuine alignment rarely feels grand or theatrical. It feels utterly natural, quietly profound, and deeply familiar, like a homecoming to your authentic self. The real transformation does not scream its arrival. It hums. Each time you truly believed in something, each time you poured your focused energy into a clear intention, synchronicities inevitably began to appear. The right people mysteriously arrived, unexpected doors suddenly opened. That was never mere coincidence. It was undeniable proof that the seed you planted was being answered and manifested. In year one, that profound response is stronger and more immediate than ever before, because the energetic field is at its most sensitive and receptive state. Like freshly tilled soil, perfectly ready to receive any seed. Difficult, because the old, conditioned self relentlessly pulls you back into the familiar, comfortable patterns of the known, even if those patterns are limiting. Every time you begin to expand and grow, that old voice will whisper that it's not working fast enough, that you are just pretending, that nothing is truly changing. That voice is not the truth of your being. It is merely the echo of old conditioning, desperately trying to survive and maintain its control. You are not here to violently destroy the old self, but rather to gracefully outgrow it. Embodiment means walking forward with doubt present, but consciously choosing not to identify with it or let it define you. It means acting from a place of clarity, even when fear makes a visit. You stop waiting for fear to completely vanish before you take action. You move forward anyway, gently but consistently. That is precisely how your nervous system learns safety and associates it with expansion. The quantum field responds not to unattainable perfection, but to unwavering consistency. Energy accumulates with each act of alignment, building momentum until it becomes your new default vibration. Eventually, the old, limiting frequency simply dissolves, not because you fiercely fought against it, but because you consciously stopped feeding it your energy and attention. This is the quiet revolution of embodiment. It happens in the background of your ordinary life, in how you speak to yourself when no one else is listening, in how you consciously breathe before responding to external chaos, in how you steadfastly hold your presence when everything feels uncertain and tumultuous. That is the profound work. And once this inner coherence stabilizes, your outer world must inevitably follow suit. People begin treating you differently, often without knowing why. Opportunities flow into your life without your active chasing. Your timing magically improves. Synchronicities multiply with astonishing frequency. It might appear like magic, but it is, in reality, perfect resonance. The universe has no choice but to rearrange itself around the dominant, coherent vibration you emit. This is the opportune time to perceive life not as a random string of unconnected events, but as a precise and direct reflection of the frequency you consistently carry. If you plant seeds of fear, of doubt, or of a need for control, you will inevitably see reality reflect them back to you, perhaps repeating the old spiral in new, deceptive disguises. But if you consciously plant seeds of expansive growth, unwavering trust, and unconditional love, you will open a cycle where serendipitous synchronicities abundantly appear, where unexpected opportunities arrive in ways your rational mind cannot possibly predict. Every single act you undertake in year one carries more weight and significance than you can possibly imagine. Because the quantum field is at its most sensitive and impressionable state, like a frozen lake where a single stone can send powerful ripples spreading far and wide. The intention you plant is that very stone. It shows you, with unerring accuracy, what you are. Most people never truly perceive this profound truth, because they remain trapped in a perpetual cycle of reaction, mistakenly believing that the external world dictates how they should feel. They passively wait for peace to magically appear before they choose to be calm, for success to materialize before they feel inherently worthy, for love to be given to them before they dare to open their hearts. But this perceived order is fundamentally reversed. The mirror does not smile first. You do. And when you do, it faithfully smiles back at you. This is the forgotten, yet foundational, law of creation. The outer world unfailingly bends to the inner world, never the other way around. Every circumstance, every person, and every event in your life serves as direct feedback, a crystal-clear reflection of your current vibration. If you observe closely, you will inevitably perceive the recurring patterns, the same conflicts appearing with different faces, the same opportunities presenting themselves repeatedly until you choose to handle them differently, the same fundamental lessons disguised in new forms and contexts. This is not punishment or cosmic retribution. It is, instead, profound precision. The quantum field is perpetually delivering precisely what matches your frequency, not to inflict harm, but to awaken you to deeper truths. When you truly grasp this, you cease asking why things are happening, and instead begin asking what they are revealing to you. You stop fighting the reflections in the mirror, and instead begin polishing your own inner lens, because everything you resist persistently remains and gains power. Every time you reject or deny a reflection, you inadvertently give it more energetic momentum. The lesson or pattern remains in your experience until you consciously align with its underlying message. This is not some abstract philosophy. It is, in its essence, fundamental mechanics. Recall the pivotal times in your life when a single decision completely altered everything. Perhaps it was a significant meeting, an unexpected opportunity you dared to seize, or something you courageously dared to release. Those were not merely strokes of luck. They were undeniable proof that a potent seed was planted and subsequently spiraled outward into your reality. In year one, this inherent ability is greatly amplified. You are standing in a field of pure potential, and anything you consciously send into it can become the solid foundation of your future. You might mistakenly believe your current situation is rigidly fixed, but reality is far more flexible and responsive than you can possibly imagine. The moment you consciously choose to see things differently, the field immediately begins rearranging itself. People start responding to you in new and unexpected ways. The timing of events subtly shifts. Doors that once seemed irrevocably locked begin to move and open effortlessly. But none of that truly begins until you cease looking outward for external proof or validation. You must be the first vibration to move, to initiate the shift. You must become the cause, not merely the effect. Your emotions are not random, chaotic reactions. They are powerful, creative frequencies. Each feeling you experience sends a distinct command to the quantum field, essentially declaring, "This is my state. Mirror it back to me." That is precisely why anxiety perpetually breeds chaos and disorder. Why gratitude effortlessly multiplies blessings and abundance. Why love magnetically attracts more of itself. The quantum field does not judge or moralize your signals. It simply amplifies them. When you grasp this truth clearly, you cease fearing the emptiness. Instead, you perceive it as a precious gift, an unparalleled chance to rewrite your story, to consciously step into a new, more aligned timeline. And when you plant with crystal clarity, with profound gratitude, and with unwavering trust, you will witness everything begin to move in truly miraculous ways. Synchronicities will spontaneously appear. The precise people you need will arrive at opportune moments. You ask for profound freedom, yet you harbor a deep-seated fear of uncertainty. The field responds to your dominant frequency, not merely your spoken wish or intellectual intention. When you truly align your emotions with your deepest intentions, manifestation becomes an automatic, effortless process. You stop chasing, and life naturally begins to flow. But this alignment is not about pretending or putting on a facade. It is not about forcing a smile through pain or denying genuine discomfort. It is about acknowledging precisely what you feel, without allowing that feeling to define or consume you. Observing your own reactions, rather than drowning in them, is the very first act of mastery. The moment you witness an emotion as an impartial observer, instead of becoming fully engulfed by it, its energetic charge begins to dissolve and release its hold. That is how you reclaim your power from the mirror of external circumstances. You stop being merely the reflection and consciously return to being the creative source. This profound awareness transforms absolutely everything. Have you ever wondered why, in recent times, you keep noticing strange synchronicities, such as repeating numbers, coincidences that appear at the exact moment you are thinking of something, or people who enter your life as if following a script already precisely written? This is not mere chance. These are clear, unmistakable signs that you are undergoing a significant shift. When an old cycle closes and a new one powerfully opens, the quantum field around you becomes significantly more sensitive and responsive. It instantly reflects the vibrations you consistently hold. You no longer try to frantically fix external reality, because reality begins to heal and harmonize itself through your aligned presence. The chaos you once feared and resisted now reveals itself as an intricate, purposeful choreography. You start noticing, with increasing frequency, how every event fits perfectly into the precise timing of your unique evolutionary journey. Even the pain that once felt meaningless and overwhelming reveals its profound purpose and wisdom. The argument that seemingly broke you, the delay that frustrated your plans, the loss that emptied your heart, each one was a mirror, subtly cracking open to reveal another layer of your inherent power and resilience. You were never meant to master life by rigidly controlling it. You were meant to master life by deeply understanding that it perfectly reflects you, your inner state, and that understanding fundamentally changes the way you move through the world. Instead of reacting impulsively, you thoughtfully respond. Instead of demanding and asserting, you align and flow. The signs are not only evident in the outer world, they also rise powerfully from within you. You begin to hear your inner voice with greater clarity. Your intuition grows significantly stronger. Dreams deliver profound messages. The powerful urge to rewrite your life intensifies dramatically. You realize with absolute certainty that you can no longer accept living the old way, that a new chapter is knocking persistently at your door, and you cannot pretend you do not hear its call. The moment you enter that profound level of awareness, your energy becomes undeniably magnetic. Opportunities seem to appear as if effortlessly drawn to you. The right people sense your resonance before they even physically meet you. Even the intricate timing of life itself begins to obey a hidden, benevolent rhythm that invariably favors your highest good. This is not blind luck or arbitrary chance. It is pure, precise resonance. You have simply become the version of yourself whose frequency perfectly matches the life you desire to experience. And because the mirror of reality never lies, it has absolutely no choice but to faithfully reflect that back to you. The conditioned mind will still doubt this deep truth. It will whisper that the world is solid, that matter is fixed and unchangeable, that genuine change inevitably takes immense time and effort. But the deeper truth, the scientific truth, is that matter follows mind, and time bends for frequency. When your internal signal stabilizes and coheres, desired results arrive far faster because internal resistance profoundly dissolves. You begin living in a state of flow, which is the natural, effortless state of coherence. It feels as though life finally begins working with you, instead of perpetually against you. That is the moment you stop needing external signs, because everything becomes a sign. Every song you hear, every word you read, every encounter you have begins to mirror your newfound clarity and alignment. The quantum field is not distant or abstract. It is intimately close, immediately responsive, and endlessly cooperative. And the key that unlocks its profound cooperation is simple: alignment. When you consciously choose to align rather than react, to radiate your truth instead of demanding it, to observe with detachment instead of trying to control, the mirror of your reality clears, and for the very first time, you see yourself not merely as the reflection, but as the pure, radiant light behind it. Linear time is arguably the most convincing and pervasive illusion ever created. Your logical mind depends heavily on it to organize and make sense of your experiences, providing a sense of order and progression. However, consciousness itself does not operate by the constraints of a clock. In the boundless quantum field, everything that could possibly exist already exists in the now, layered in infinite probabilities. The future you envision and dream of is not passively waiting for you somewhere ahead on a linear timeline. It is vibrantly active right here, right now, merely invisible to your perception, because your current energetic frequency is not yet aligned to perceive it. Every conceivable version of your life, every potential identity you could embody, every outcome you could ever experience, is already alive and coexisting in the vast field of potential, interwoven into an intricate web of now. The fundamental question, therefore, is never about when something will happen, but rather, when you will align your frequency to match it. You are not painstakingly building a new reality from scratch. You are, in essence, consciously choosing one from the infinite possibilities that already exist. Each thought you entertain, each emotion you cultivate, and each decision you make subtly shifts your alignment and moves you between these countless timelines. When you feel inspired, open, and deeply trusting, you effortlessly connect with realities characterized by ease, expansion, and positive outcomes. Conversely, when you spiral into states of fear, rigid control, or scarcity, you inadvertently drop into timelines marked by resistance, struggle, and stagnation. This is not a form of cosmic punishment. It is merely precise mechanics. The quantum field does not make arbitrary decisions for you. It faithfully mirrors your vibrational state, exactly as it is. That is why genuine awakening is not about passively waiting for your external circumstances to improve. If you stubbornly try to hold on to them, you will find yourself trapped in repetition, constantly circling through situations that only change in superficial form, and genuine growth will become an illusion. This is precisely why year one always arrives with challenges that powerfully force you to let go. Because the universe instinctively knows that if you cling to the past, you cannot truly step into the future. Letting go is never an easy process, primarily because the human mind loves the familiar and the known. But the significant challenge lies in the fact that you have been conditioned and trained to perceive time as a measure of distance, to believe that meaningful change invariably requires years of strenuous effort and linear, incremental progress. That powerful illusion keeps you trapped in a state of perceived delay. You mistakenly believe you are waiting for an elusive readiness, but in truth, readiness is patiently waiting for you to embrace it. Every delay you perceive in your life is not the universe maliciously withholding something from you. It is, instead, precise feedback, clearly showing you where your current energy is still contradicting your deepest desires. Resistance, impatience, lingering self-doubt. These are not inherent flaws in your character. They are simply energetic frequencies that keep you slightly out of range, like static on a radio, preventing you from fully connecting with the timeline that is already calling to you. Once you truly comprehend this, life becomes less about relentless chasing and more about intuitive tuning. If you observe carefully, you will notice that the universe always moves cleverly to gently make you release. It creates situations where the old simply no longer functions, where you cannot cling to it any longer, no matter how hard you try. And though you may initially resist with all your might, in the end, you must concede that the time has truly come to stop. In that profound moment, instead of labeling it as a loss, choose to see it as a sacred rite of passage. It is like changing into a new skin, like a tree shedding its leaves in preparation for the vibrant arrival of spring. Every physical contraction you feel is a clear signal that you are out of resonance. Every sensation of ease and spaciousness is an undeniable confirmation that alignment is near. Those who live as conscious creators, profoundly understand this fundamental principle. They do not waver or panic when external results seem absent or delayed, because they intuitively know that the field responds to stable vibration, not to impatient demands. They hold their frequency steady and coherent, even when external evidence seems to contradict their inner knowing. They do not succumb to panic when things appear to slow down, because they understand that time is not an enemy to be conquered. It is, in fact, an ally, gracefully adjusting itself to accommodate their new level of coherence. They do not rush the process of manifestation, they stabilize it. This is the profound secret. The universe does not delay out of cruelty or indifference. It delays specifically to refine and perfect your alignment. It will not deliver what you ask for if your current energetic state would inadvertently reject or sabotage it. It will hold it just beyond your immediate reach until you are vibrationally ready to receive it fully and harmoniously. That is why what often looks like stagnation or a standstill is, in fact, a sacred phase of profound inner work. The waiting period is not empty or unproductive. It is actively reprogramming your vibration, clearing old energetic codes, dissolving ingrained fears, and upgrading your entire signal to a higher frequency. When you stop fighting the timing and fully surrender to it, you begin to deeply feel and understand the intricate orchestration at play. Suddenly, what you once labeled as frustrating detours begin to make profound sense. The missed opportunity reveals itself as a protective redirection. The seemingly slow progress turns out to be crucial, thorough preparation. Every no you encounter becomes a precise realignment toward the ultimate yes that genuinely belongs to you. The universe is never behind schedule. Its timing is exact, mathematically impeccable, and perfectly precise. The only variable in this intricate equation is your ability to maintain coherence long enough for the desired pattern to fully complete and manifest. Imagine a seed planted in the earth. You would never dig it up daily to anxiously check if it has grown roots or sprouted. You would implicitly trust the unseen process unfolding beneath the surface. The soil does not outwardly show progress until it is ready to reveal its fully formed structure. Yet, transformation is constant and relentless beneath the surface, invisible to the eye. The same principle holds true for your manifestations and desires. The invisible, inner work is the real work. Every moment you consciously choose trust over control, every time you breathe deeply instead of forcing an outcome, you are actively nourishing that unseen growth. The quantum field is perpetually listening, responding, and adjusting, always in motion. But it can only amplify and reflect coherence. That is why the one live profoundly differently. They are not rigidly attached to external timing, because they have learned to feel the frequency of completion, even before it physically appears. They do not ask when it will happen. They ask who. Who do I need to become to embody the reality I desire? That pivotal question changes absolutely everything, because it brings responsibility back to where it truly belongs, within yourself. The moment you shift from passive waiting to active embodying, from merely asking to deeply aligning, reality simply cannot resist. It has to bend and reshape itself to match your new frequency. This is the unwavering law of resonance. The quantum field is not linear. It is immediate, it is fractal, and it unfailingly obeys the coherence of consciousness. When you deeply understand this, every perceived obstacle transforms into a valuable signal. Every delay becomes precise guidance. You cease labeling experiences as good or bad and begin seeing them purely as data, as information. Each experience is simply showing you where you still vibrate slightly, out of tune with your desired reality. That powerful realization profoundly frees you. You stop fighting against the process, because you come to understand that there is no arbitrary process, only impeccable precision. Every moment is either an alignment or a correction, and both ultimately serve your highest evolution. That is what mastery truly feels like. Not rigid control. You realize that consciousness does not operate on your human schedule. It unfolds gracefully, according to its own inherent resonance and perfect timing. And in that deep knowing, time itself softens and becomes fluid. You begin to notice how opportunities present themselves exactly when you are truly ready, not a moment before. You start to see that every door opens in the precise sequence required for your optimal evolution. The path was never delayed. It was, in fact, perfectly timed all along. From this elevated perspective, you no longer feel any pressure to rush or force things. You begin to walk slower, speak softer, and act with greater clarity and intention. You stop chasing dramatic quantum leaps and instead realize that you yourself are the leap, the very embodiment of the shift. Time begins to behave differently around you. Hours expand, feeling more spacious. Days feel lighter, less burdened. Synchronicities multiply with astonishing frequency. You find yourself in the right place, at the right time, more often, meeting the right people, effortlessly. Arriving at the exact moment, things align perfectly. It feels like effortless flow, but it is, in fact, impeccable precision. The same immense intelligence that orchestrates entire galaxies is meticulously orchestrating your personal journey. Your only profound task is to stay in harmonious alignment with it. When you hold your vibration steady and coherent, life accelerates and unfolds in ways that defy linear logic. Reality ceases to be a series of random, disconnected events, and instead becomes an exquisitely choreographed dance. The moments that once confused you now begin to connect like constellations, forming a larger, beautiful design that was always there. This is when you truly understand that time is not linear but holographic, meaning each moment holds all others within its fabric. The future you are patiently waiting for is already intricately woven into the fabric of your now, simply waiting for your recognition and energetic match. And when you finally align with its vibration, it appears so seamlessly, so naturally, that it feels as though it had always been there, because, on a deeper level, it truly had. Your current reality is not a rigid sentence from which there is no escape. It is merely a snapshot. It is a photograph of your past frequency, an echo of what you once believed, once feared, once emitted into the energetic field. Everything you perceive right now is already a reflection of your past vibrational state.